From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and Akashvani, this is Stumped.
Hello and welcome to Stumped, your intercontinental hit of news, features and debate from the quirky world of cricket. I'm Alison Mitchell in London, where the nation is still recovering from another disappointment in a major football final. Of course, for England men, well, they got there. They at least got there. It's now all about the fallout. Who's going to replace Gareth Southgate as manager? But we're a cricket programme. And so England's men are beginning life without James Anderson at the test match at Trent Bridge this week. They dispatched the West Indies very quickly in James Anderson's last game at Lord's, which actually meant that I was able to go to my cousin's birthday party on Saturday night without worrying about going back to work on Sunday. So there was certainly a silver lining on top of a quick test match finish. But yeah, it's farewell to Jimmy Anderson.
Well, let's hope the West Indies can get at least to 4 days in a test match at Trent Bridge. But Jim Maxwell for the ABC here in Sydney. And I do have some sad news to report because a number of you in the world of cricket will know of David Morrow, who worked for the ABC for a long time. And sadly, he passed away on Wednesday after a battle with brain cancer, which unfortunately from diagnosis took him away from us after just 6-7 months. So David Morrow, a very versatile broadcaster, did a lot of cricket and a lot of those around the country, particularly his colleagues, sending out condolences to family and friends on his passing.
Yeah, well, sorry to hear about David, Jim. This is Charu Sharma for Akashvani. I'm glad to be back home in Bangalore and all the news in terms of cricket here. Well, there are two aspects. One, of course, India, after suffering that reversal in the first T20 against Zimbabwe, of course, came back very strongly. That was a no contest, a bit like what's going on in England right now and the West Indies. And the other bit of news is concerning our new coaching system. Gautam Gambhir seems to be, of course, the one who is going to take care of the Indian cricket team, but he's not having much luck with his assistants or lieutenants. But we'll see how all of that ends up pretty soon, because they need to, of course, announce the new coaching setup.
But we're going to start this week by celebrating the efforts to grow cricket in emerging nations and marking some of the most outstanding performances by associate countries. The ICC announced their annual development awards this week, and amongst the winners, Mexico were credited with introducing cricket into prisons, and the Netherlands men's team were recognised for their performances in Zimbabwe in their 50-over World Cup qualifying campaign and in the tournament itself in 2023, where you remember they memorably beat both South Africa and Bangladesh at the World Cup in India. The UAE were awarded ICC Associate Member Women's Performance of the Year for their achievement at the T20 World Cup Asia qualifier in Kuala Lumpur. They went on a run which saw them record wins over the hosts Qatar, Bahrain, Hong Kong and Thailand. And the UAE captain Isha Oza is currently in Sri Lanka for the Asia Cup, and she joins us on Stumped. Isha, fabulous to see you. First of all, what does it mean to you to win this particular award?
I think it's a great thing. It's a great event for the entire community of cricket in UAE. I think ECB played a major role in helping us achieve all those results that we did. And I think the hard work they put in, the hard work we put in, it's all getting the result, and an award is the best way to get noticed of doing well.
Yeah, it's fabulous recognition. And you narrowly missed out on qualifying for the 2024, the T20 World Cup after being beaten by Sri Lanka in that qualifying tournament. And that must have felt crushing at the time. But what did you take from it?
So I think the first few days, it's pretty hard to take it, especially when it gets so close. It's hard to take a loss that close. But I think one thing that we learned from that tournament is I think our entire squad believes that we're able to do something big as well. So playing against teams like Sri Lanka, we got so close to them. We were close to maybe even knocking them out of the World Cup and taking their place instead. So that means like if you just believe in yourself, you do the small things right. And if it's your day, it's T20 cricket. Anything can go your way.
Jim Maxwell for the ABC in Sydney. Well done. Wonderful to have the recognition. Now, just a bit about yourself. You were born in India. You moved to the UAE. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience there and the state of women's cricket in the UAE?
So I moved to UAE pretty early. I was 8 months old when I moved to UAE, and since then I've stayed in Dubai. So it's pretty much my home. And so I actually took up cricket only when I was 15. So before that, I used to play football in school. And I think the first ever cricket game I've watched was the 2011 World Cup finals. And like just watching MS Dhoni hit that six, that was something pretty different to see. And then when I used to go to when I used to go to Mumbai during my holidays, I used to play cricket with my cousins. They used to go down to play gully cricket. So like I used to enjoy it when I used to do that. So when I came back to Dubai, I joined an academy and I started learning the sport as well. And that was way back in 2013. And that during that time we didn't play T20 internationals. It was just T20s against Gulf countries. But over the years, we've gotten T20I status. That was in 2018. We've played we've won Asia qualifier. We've won them twice, and we've even been to the global qualifiers thrice now. And with the latest one, we've come up to the semi-finals. So I think women's cricket in UAE is really progressing.
You have a pretty strong personal record, 3 international T20 centuries, second fastest woman to reach 1,000 T20 runs in international cricket. So what do you put that down to? Is it hard work? Something in your genes? There's some talent there? What is it?
No, I think nothing in the genes, all the hard work. I think hard work does pay off. The harder you work, the better results you get. And yeah, there's no substitute for hard work. Just keep working hard. Just keep dreaming big, working hard, keep working towards your goals, and eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, hi, Isha. This is Charu Sharma. I'm in Bangalore right now. I was actually in Dubai when your T20 World Cup qualifiers were going on, and I was doing a lot of work with Charbi Bhatt, your former UAE women's captain, and we were following your progress very closely. And well, I mean, sad about the T20 World Cup, but congratulations to you, your team, and of course the Emirates Cricket Board and all that it has achieved. And you guys, the women, might actually in the UAE be doing better than the men at this point in time. We'll see. But the coach of the women's team currently is Ahmad Raza, who was the captain of the men's UAE team. And what kind of an influence, what's his contribution to the recent development of your game?
So one thing is he's been following the women's game since quite a time. So ever since he was a player as well, he used to come down to our training sessions. He used to have a chat with us about the game. He used to come bowl to us as well. And so stuff like that. So he's seen our team progress. And now that he's become our coach, he's played a lot of international cricket and he's watched a lot of women's games as well. So he can like guide us from both ways, like a overall cricketing perspective as well as a women's cricket perspective. So that's really helped us. I think it's helped us grow our game and make it more T20 friendly, I can say, from what we used to play.
Also, you're currently in Sri Lanka now, Isha, at the Asia Cup, and it's about to get underway. And in your group, you do have India, Pakistan, and Nepal. And how does it feel now going against at least a couple of the giants of the women's game?
I think the Sri Lanka game, that's really important coming up to this tournament because that game actually helped us believe that these tournaments were not just here to participate, we're here to compete. And I think the World Cup qualifiers, semi-finals, we competed. We just didn't play the game just like that. So that gives us a big boost. I think all players are starting to believe a lot more that any upset is possible. Maybe we may be underdogs, but you never know. If it's our day, we can come out on the winning side as well.
Isha, this conversation is largely about T20 because of the award and the performance at that qualifying tournament. But what about the 2026 ODI World Cup? Is that very much on your radar? Who are going to be your biggest challengers to getting through to actually feature there? Do you believe you can?
I think we can. We're still in the hunt for ODI status. We haven't played ODI till now. And I think we're working towards it. We're getting better and better at the T20 format. And I think that will eventually help us get our ODI status as well. I think tournaments like these, the Asia Cup, where we played giants of the region, I think if we do well here, they'll automatically, people will automatically start feeling that maybe we're good enough to play even ODIs. And yeah, we're working towards it. I think as soon as the Asia Cup gets over, we're going to start working on our ODI games as well.
Isha, congratulations on winning the award that you have for the ICC Development Awards and wish you all the best of luck for the time in Sri Lanka just now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
As Isha Oza, captain of the UAE, with us. Finally this week, England's women have broken their own record and won all 13 matches they've played at home this summer. Previously, the record was 12, so it's quite a feat for them. They finished the summer their international summer, that is, with a 5-0 T20 series win over New Zealand, having won the ODI series. And they also beat Pakistan earlier in the summer as well. They go into the domestic 100 competition now, and then they'll all get back together again to travel to Ireland for a white ball series in September, before then getting out to Bangladesh for the T20 World Cup. So, Jim, it's quite a top-loaded summer for England. We've been used to the women playing a lot of their internationals in September, but all over in July for them. It's a long time now till the World Cup, with only this series against Ireland to come.
Yes, it's a moot point, though, about the competitiveness of the English summer. Men and women, it seems like it's all going to go one way. I mean, the men are playing the West Indies, who are marginal at best, and then Sri Lanka, my God, they're worse. And the women are having a pretty good run because they're playing some very good cricket, that needs to be said. But it's not a summer that's glowing like an Ashes series or a visit of India to England, is it? So I'm sure it was some relief to a lot of people that England got to the final of a football competition recently.
Alison, I have to ask you what these victories have meant to budding women cricketers in the UK, because much as we may say that the competition wasn't really very exciting in terms of levels that they've played, but can you see a visible change in the number of young girls taking to the game? Because England cricket, women's cricket, is doing really well. There's no doubt about it. Are the numbers rising? Is there more support commercially or otherwise?
The overall trend is a healthy one, certainly, and the 100 has given amazing visibility to the women's game, and the number of internationals that are on television as well. I mean, the last T20 was live on BBC Two as well. So there's the visibility aspect is certainly what creates that role model piece of inspiring more and more youngsters who just want to pick up a bat and have those England players as their heroes. In fact, I was playing cricket in the park with my niece the other day, who's 10 years old, and she had one of her school friends there who was a young lad. And I said to him, who's your favourite cricketer? And without hesitation, he just said, Nat Sciver-Brunt's pretty cool. And that's come from a lad, so that role model aspect really cuts through, and kids are growing up just with role models being girls and boys, men and women, sort of regardless. But yeah, insofar as the level of competition England have had, I think Heather Knight, the England captain, has been a little bit sore maybe about people constantly looking and saying, well, yeah, Pakistan weren't a strong side, and New Zealand have been really poor this summer. And New Zealand have been poor at times, and quite poor, but England also have been playing good cricket. So I think Heather Knight wants a bit more credit for the level of cricket that they have been playing, and they're building up towards Bangladesh. They've really mixed things up through this whole series, actually, notably number of team changes all the time to get them used to what different circumstances might be thrown at them when they do get to Bangladesh. They've got this option of playing 4 spinners, which they've played at times in the summer. Sophie Ecclestone, number 1 spinner in the world. Sarah Glenn is right up there. Charlie Dean, off spinner, who's really got a tremendous cricketing brain. I think she could have a really impactful tournament in Bangladesh. And then they also have left arm spinner in Lindsay Smith, who they sometimes will play in the power play when they want to, contain a team, but also, she keeps the stumps in play, so it's that sort of attacking sense as well. So I think they're in a pretty good spot when they get to Bangladesh. But I mean, Charu, the conditions there are going to be quite different, aren't they? Different. So that's the additional challenge for England.
Yeah, well, I do remember teams basing themselves in the Middle East before competitions in the South Asia, as we call it, to be able to get a sense of the conditions. So I wonder if the women's team will allow themselves that privilege of going to perhaps Dubai and spending a couple of weeks and just getting more used to it, rather than
it's just
the
Ireland
obviously
and then
friendly
out.
conditions. Yeah, well, that's a little dangerous then for South Asian conditions. But I'm sure there'll be, time, I think, for a small camp somewhere in South Asian conditions. We'll see.
Yeah, we certainly will. I mean, insofar as Test cricket goes, Jim, there's been sort of some questions, hasn't there, about whether a Test match could have been played at Lord's, because notably the T20 that was played at Lord's, England just haven't historically played very much cricket at the home of cricket at Lord's, so it always feels significant when the England team play there. I guess at the moment, in recent years, the 100 team London Spirit is Lord's based, so actually we see women's cricket played at Lord's. It feels quite a lot, but less so the England team. And then of course it brings inevitable questions about, well, when is a Test match going to be played there? And it couldn't have happened this summer with Pakistan and New Zealand because they just don't play Test cricket, do they? It's still very limited to England, Australia, and England will have one in South Africa before going over to the Ashes. But it's not a growth area or an area of focus for any countries outside of England, India, and South Africa at the moment.
It's not, but the West Indies couldn't get to lunch on the third day just recently, so I'm sure that some of these women's teams, even though they're on the fringes of Test cricket, as a one-off at least, could give it a crack and should be given the opportunity. But it's about how it fits, and it's a big thing in Australia. You'll notice when you come back this summer about women more and more looking to have, given their status here, the Australian women's team, they should be getting the MCG, the SCG, the Test match grounds to play their big games more often. And it's a pretty strong argument when you look at the way they play their cricket and the crowds they pull.
It's the crowds, isn't it? And of course, the Ashes Test is being staged at the MCG for the first time, which will be incredible. England have been told that they will have a Test match at Lord's. I believe 2026 is the earliest that could happen. So I haven't looked ahead in the fixtures to know if that's then an Ashes touring year, or which team that could possibly be. But of course, you've got to have the right summer for the right team touring to stage a Test match. But that is what has been said to them by Richard Thompson, the ECB chair. So watch this space, and there will be a women's Test match staged at Lord's. Well, that is all we've got time for on this week's Stumped. My thanks to Jim Maxwell and Charu Sharma, and to all of you for listening, and we'll see you again next week. Until then, bye for now.